Right, so let's start with our feet facing forwards as if we were skiing. So we don't want them turned out, turned in. And we want our knees over our ankles, our hips over our knees, and our shoulders over our hips, and our ears over our shoulders. So we're pulling up nice and tall, hands by the side. Let's take a few breaths to get started. So breathing in nice and deeply through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. So the out breath, we're breathing into an imaginary mirror so that we can really get this, and we can engage our abdominals, our diaphragm, and squeeze everything in. So you're imagining on your in breath, your ribs are expanding, and on your out breath, they're contracting. So you're trying to draw your ribs down to your hips, always on the out breath. So our posture, we don't want to be with our bum stuck out, but you don't want it stuck under, so it's somewhere in the middle where we're in neutral, and we hold it there. Lovely. And let's just, one more deep breath here. Then just take the breathing back to normal length, but still keep it nice and controlled, still thinking of breathing in and breathing out, squeezing the abdominals. Let's have a little circle round of the body, so we're just getting ourselves grounded, so you can feel yourself on your little toe, your big toe, your ball of your foot, changing direction. So it's just challenging your core, your stability a little bit, and just stopping somewhere where you feel you're in the middle of the feet and you're nice and grounded. Lovely. Let's just do a little breathing again. Breathe out, tuck the chin down, lengthen the back of the neck. Breathe in, lift the chin slightly, feeling all the stretch. As if you're lifting the head up, making the neck longer. Palms face forward. Stretching those fingers. Let's lift those arms. Let the rib cage lift from the hips. Swing down. So bouncing those knees, and we're going to take the bottom all the way back. Careful of what's behind you. Swing down, tuck the chin in, eyes to knees, and just let those arms flop down. One more. Lovely. And back to centre. Lovely. Let's now just a little bit of movement in the neck. Give us a little head circle. So it's as if I'm drawing the size of an orange with my nose. Lovely. And then let's change direction. Still thinking of your posture, so we're nice and evenly distributed with our weight on our feet. Lovely. Let's take the ear to the shoulder. And change sides. Really draw both shoulders down. And try and move with breath. So we breathe in one way, we breathe out the other way. Lovely. Let's hold over to the right. 2 fingers, just gently, a little bit of pressure. Keep this shoulder down, and this hand flex the heel, push down to the floor, so we get a stretch in that neck. So we're going to focus a lot on spine mobility in the midsection today. Again, it really helps the shoulders, do lots of nice stretches, opening up that back. Let's change sides, ear to the shoulder, lengthen, shoulders down, push down. Keeping that breathing going. And as if we're leaning between 2 panes of glass, and we're just sliding down to the side with that head, so there's no rotation or movement in the body. Lovely, and release. Just taking that a little bit more, take your hand up and over, so we're bending that spine, getting some movement from side to side and down. Change sides, so lift palm up and then reach over, getting a stretch in the waist as well, opening up the shoulder. Lovely. And again, breathing in, release, and change sides. Lovely. And release. A little bit of movement into the spine, twisting it, and then we'll go into the feet. So let's have our arms crossed, hands on the shoulders. Want to bend the knees because I want this bit to stay still. If your knees are bent, you're less likely to move your hips. We want these staying dead straight. So hands on the shoulders, shoulders down, and just rotate the upper body. So keep your head in line. So a good way to do it is look at your wrist and keep your head there so that you're not moving your head more. You want to move in one block. And as you're twisting to the side, your hips are this way, they want to move, keep them there. Again, again, the knees bent, we'll try and isolate that a bit more. But really feel it's this shoulder pushing back, squeezing it back, keeping those hips forward. Using the breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing. Going to add on slightly. Let's go back, let's open an arm, reaching back. So again, we're getting some opening in the shoulders, keep the shoulder down. Come back, lovely, let's change sides, take the other arm. So we're getting some twisting in this spine. Lots of this today, lots of really lovely stuff for the spine. Keep those hips forward, one last one to the right. Lovely, and release. Release those legs. A little bit of warming up into these feet. So lifting the right heel, press it down, and then lift the left. As we're doing it, splay out those toes, get a nice stretch under the foot. Lovely. We're going to stay with this, so I'm going to keep adding on. Again, this is your sort of base level, but unless you've got any feet or ankle problems, you should be fine. So lifting the right heel, now lift your left heel, now straighten up and lower them both down. Let's stay on the same side. Lift your right heel. So you don't have to lift it as far as that, it could just be a small lift. Again, when you lift the other one, it's quite different. So right heel, can you lift the left so your knees are bent, and then you squeeze to straighten and lower. Again, right heel, whoop, left, lift and lower. Let's change sides. So left, right, lift and lower. Lovely. Left, right. So this is strengthening the feet, strengthening the ankles, working on the arches. My feet are very flat, so a very good exercise for your feet to strengthen the underneath. One more. Lovely. Let's reverse. I'm going to do both feet up first. So let's lift both heels. She says, lift both heels. Bend both knees, both heels down and then straight into stand. So we lift both heels, bend both knees, heels down and straighten. One more, squeeze that bottom, lift both heels, bend the knees, heels down, lift. Let's reverse. Bend the knees, lift the heels, straighten and lower. Bend the knees, lift the heels, squeeze up with the bottom and low. One more time, hold at the top, bend. Lift the heels, squeeze, hold, 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 and lower. Lovely, give those a little shake, well done. So we're going to warm the hands up and the shoulders as usual. So let's have the elbows in at the waist, creating a nice L shape, nice stiff fingers as if we're trying to reach them back so they're not all floppy. Using your thumbs, lead backwards, so we're breathing in, opening up. You should feel a stretch across here, squeezing the shoulder blades together a little bit and release. It's not quite squeezing them together where you hunch them up and do it, but you are sensing those shoulder blades getting some tension and squeezing together. Lovely. We move with breath, breathing in, breathing out. Really keep this bit as if you're holding something underneath it. It's in really tight. The elbows will move a bit when you open, but we want to keep those upper arms stuck to the side of the body. I'm going to add on slightly, so we open, reach, in and down. Again, thinking of the posture still. Are your feet still facing forward? Are your knees soft? Are your feet parallel? Is the neck long? Lovely, and release. Taking it up to the next level, we've got the arms here. Just shrug those shoulders up and then squeeze them back down. So you imagine you've got little pockets here, your shoulders are up and they squeeze down into those pockets, and that's where we're holding them. So we're really active across the shoulder girdle. Pushing both hands down, keeping the elbows the same height as the shoulders. Don't let the shoulders creep up. Lovely, and release backwards. Pushing the hands back a bit as well. Using breath. Lovely. I'm going to do one arm at a time next time. So let's take the right arm down. Let's look to the right as well. So mobility in the neck. Breathe in, both up. Breathe out, left. Pushing down as if you're pushing through some really thick mud. You've got to push your hand down. You're creating resistance. You're feeling it in your arms. arms. Feeling it in your wrist, feeling it in your hands. You can see, you might be able to see just about, but you can see the difference in my arm. If I don't engage this arm, look, not a lot happening. But if I do it again and engage it, look at the muscle. You can see it better with the right arm actually. But you can see the tension in the arm, that's what we want. One more. And release, lovely little roll of the shoulders. Circle these wrists around. A little bit of work on all fours today, not too much. Change direction. Start to bring those hands together. Hands together, elbows together, and rotate. And do one more exercise standing up. So we're really going to open up the shoulders. The rest of it we'll do on the floor. Changing direction if you can. It's just getting that fluid in the joints, in the wrists moving, and stretch, flex those fingers and those wrists, and then change direction. So we're seeing how that feels, getting a nice stretch, especially if you've been working all day, using your hands at a desk. Really good for relieving tension. Let's take those arms up and up. And one more up. Let the shoulders come up, shrug. Release, start to bring them back down. Going to do a shoulder stretch. So push your hands towards me, let your shoulders separate and let your head drop. So you're really reaching forward as much as you can, and the shoulders, you're getting a stretch between the shoulder blades. And then release, lovely. So I want to keep the hands this way round, so not that way. And we're going to open, one arm is back when it's down and one arm is back when it's up. So you're trying to take both arms back but here, and then change it. And we want to try not to let the rib cage get involved, so keep it down and you're trying to go back, back. I find a little pulse does help. So we're doing this, open up the shoulders, get some movement in this spine. So if this is feeling uncomfortable, just take it as a nice slow thing. But if you can do a little pulse, open it up. Lovely. A few more. Last one. Good, release, lovely. So I'm going to come to the edge of the mat. I'm going to start the roll down. So we want to keep our bottom here and our weight is forward. So we're trying not to stick our bottom out and fold here. We want to fold and round down, okay? Breathing in, let's lift the heels, let's lift the arms. Lower the heels, lower the arms, lower the head, round the shoulders. Feel the shoulders separating, feel the back stretching. The weight is in the front of your feet, your head is flopping. And you're trying to fold yourself in half. Take your head towards your knees. Feel that stretch in the back if you need to support. Breath in at the bottom, breathe out, coming back up. Again, keep the weight in the front of the feet. Feeling all the stretch happen here. Lovely, let's go again. Lift the arms, lift the heels. And roll down. Breathe in at the bottom, breathe out, uncurl back up. Try not to grip with those toes, keep the head flopping. Next time we're going to take the hands forward, come onto the knees. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. Lovely. Come down, keep the feet where they are, so the balls of the feet on the floor, knees come down. Just gently push back into those feet a little bit. Stretch out the feet, stretch out the toes. Then let those toes release. Sit back, hands behind you, let your shoulders relax, let your head relax. Lovely. Turn that down a bit. So again, I want to do some stuff to open up these shoulders, open up this mid-spine today. So I'm going to start with opening up the shoulders. I'm going to start with the elbows on the floor. We're trying to be your bum back as much as you can, elbow on the floor. And I'm going to open up one way and lower, then again open up. So there's really no weight in your elbows, it's all back here. Breathing open. And because you can have the arm bent at the moment, getting somewhere, and we're going to keep taking this up. So if you find this is really tight, you stay with this. But what I'd like to do, if you can we put the hands down and sit up? So we put more weight back into the heels, as much as it is comfortable for you. Appreciate your knees might not like it, so if you have to, you can come up onto all fours. But if you're happy here, same thing, hands down, open up with a full arm. And down. We will take it onto all fours in a minute. Open up. And down. Try and keep your shoulder down so it's away from your chin and reach back. Opening up. And back. Again, it's lovely. You haven't got your hips involved, so you have to use the spine. When we go up onto the knees, sometimes you can... Sorry. You can engage your hips sometimes. It's always doing that shelf, do not worry. Right, let's take it up onto all fours. So this time it's going to add a little bit of a push up in the arm as well. Starting off, hand here. Reach up, try not to let your hips twist like that. Just keep your hips still. Can you take the elbow down? So we're opening up, elbow down, up. So next time I go down, I'm going to now bend this left arm. So I'm bending down, so I'm getting a bit of a bend and then pushing up. So small push up as well. And up, let's change sides. So left hand to temple, open up, don't let those hips push to the left, and try and take the arm down. Breathe in, breathe out, keep that tummy in. Now I'm going to start to add a little push up. So opening up, come down and push up. Come down and push up. 2 more. Last one. Good. Let's just let these wrists rest for a moment and give them a little stretch. Let's do a little cat stretch, cat-cow. So hands under shoulders. If your wrists are really uncomfortable, have them here. Shoulders back, lift the chin, let that back up. So if you had a tail, you're flicking it up in the air, and now you're going to flick your tail underneath you. Round the lower back, don't let the shoulders lift, keep them down. Round the lower back, tuck your tailbone under, pull the belly in, and then just look underneath at your belly button. Then reverse, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. So it's the lower back, so try and get some mobility in the lower back. Really here, tuck under as much as you can. As if you're trying to, if you imagine you had a tail, you're trying to take your tail up to your nose. One last one. And just sit back into child pose for a moment. Just let the knees open, give us a bit more room, stretch all the way forward. Same thing, you can get this arch in your lower back, let your bottom lift. Then draw back, pull your belly in, hands towards you, bottom towards your heels, and then pull up. My mat gets a bit slippery, so I want to do it to the side. Stretch and back. Really using the abdominals to pull you up. Stretch forward and back. One more. Lovely. Okay, coming up to your knees. Little stretch with the lower back, hands on your back, and push your hips forward. You can lift the chest a bit. You've got your hands to support you, push on them. Don't take your head all the way back, but you can lift the chin slightly, so we're getting a nice bend in that lower back, a nice stretch in these hip flexors as well. Your hands are supporting you. One more breath. Lovely. Okay, taking your right leg forward. So again, this is another exercise for mobility in the thoracic spine. I'm going to move over so I don't whack anything out. So this is a good one to do against the wall if you can. Doesn't matter for now. But if you want to do this exercise another time, same arm as leg, arms forward. Now open up your left arm, open it back, come forward. The idea of a wall is this is staying here, so don't let it move. Just open up and come back, shoulders down, squeezing in the tummy, open up. You can also push with these hips, we're getting a nice stretch in this hip flexor. Breathe. So really good here. You should feel it a little bit sort of just underneath that shoulder, squeezing it back. One more. Lovely. Whilst we're here, we might as well carry on with the hip flexor stretch. We can inchworm this foot forward, lean into it. Mind how that knee feels underneath. If it doesn't like being leaned on, you can always tuck your foot under and lift up to a runner's lunge. If your knee's okay, you can stay here. Again, you can lean into it as much as you're comfortable with. Can you put the opposite hand down? I'd like to now open the other arm. So take your right arm, which is next to your right leg, take it round your back and just twist, look over your right shoulder. If you're comfortable, you can take that arm up. So it's the opposite arm to what we're doing. We're doing opposite, same arm as leg, opposite to what we did. We're going to switch it in a minute, so don't worry. Keep the shoulder away from your chin and keep the neck nice and relaxed. If it's better here, just keep it here. Don't get stress in that neck. Driving the hips down, make sure the knee stays over this ankle, it doesn't go forward. One more breath. Reaching back, lovely. Little bit of a hamstring. We do this more when we're warm, but you can pull back a bit. Can we sit up? You could just flex the foot, take it right and left. A little bit of just movement for the hip. Just moving that hip around, a little bit of mobility, turning that foot out and in. Lovely. Can we push your hips behind you a little bit? Leaning the body forward, so you're just stretching the hamstring. Again, not too much because we're not going to be very warm. Just a little start off stretch. Lovely stuff. Let's bring both knees back under. Going to take this other knee forward, left knee. I'll try and guide you with my right and left, even though we're different. Squeezing, your hips are forward. Again, you've got a nice angle here, your knees staying over the hip. Both arms forward, your left arm stays where it is, the right arm opens up. So we often do this when we're in a C curve, probably still will, but this really isolates the upper body and that thoracic spine. It's a lot of tension, a lot of tightness in it because it's got shoulders attached to it, and ribs. Breathe in and back, keep that chin down, open and back. Do one more. Lovely. Now let's think about pushing your hips forward, inchworm your foot forward, and again see how that knee feels. You might want to bend down and then drop the hip rather than try and drop from here. It really just depends on how your knees are feeling. Again, tuck the foot under and lift up if you want, or stay here. Keeping your knee over your ankle. If you can, get your hand on the floor, lovely. If you need something to hold on to, or if it's too much, just stay up a little bit higher. So now, left hand, same as leg. Left hand, take the back of your hand on your back, and just let you rotate. If it's too much, you can always stay lifted and do it. If you can, get to the floor, rotate back. If you're comfortable, extend the arm, reach up, look up. Still driving the hips down, breathing into it. Don't let that head get any stress on the neck. If you need to, just look back down to the floor, that's fine. One more lovely breath. And release, good. We're going to come back, slowly come back. Let this leg flex. If your leg isn't straight, don't worry. If you can get it straight and your balance is okay, or hold on. And just take that leg right and left. So you're just working on your mobility. You probably find quite naturally often turn-in's easier than the turn-out, but that's what we're working on, some mobility in the hip. Now let's hold here, just push back a bit with the hips, pushing back. Feeling a small stretch in this leg we've got straight, lovely. Ooh. Wonderful. Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to take it onto our tummies and do a little bit of work for our shoulders and spines for strengthening. Now I've done a lot of flexibility, let's do some strength. So my feet are just on the corners of the mat, tummy on the floor. The main thing with this is we don't want to push our belly in the floor, so you're trying to suck your belly up as if the floor's cold. Shoulders back, framing your face with your hands, so your elbows are more or less in line with your shoulders. Shoulders back, and then you can just relax down a bit. So your head is slightly held, neck is long, and you're looking down as if looking in a mirror. So let the legs relax, we don't want to grab onto the bum or the legs too much, we want the back to do the work. Shoulders back, squeeze the belly, small lift. It's only an inch or two, and then breathe out. The main thing is keeping looking down at the floor as if you're looking in a mirror. Keep that chin tucked in, we do not want to lift. There's a lot of stress on the neck. All we should be feeling is these back muscles in the lower part of the back, either side of the spine really engaging. We're going to add on to this. This is where we start. Squeeze the tummy in, pull it in. So I'm going to add on slightly. So these fingers, keep them light, lift up, reach forward, pull back and go back further than here, pull back and then lower. Lift up, reach, squeeze back and lower. So on the squeeze back, you're really squeezing your shoulder blades together, squeezing your elbows back and lower, lift up. Pull the tummy in, don't push on it, use the back. Squeeze and lower. If you want to take it up a level, have the hands off to start. Lift up, reach, try and keep those ears, arms by your ears, squeeze back and lower, lift up, reach, keep your head down, the chin tucked in, squeeze the tummies. It's not about lifting up height-wise, it's a small lift, it's a big reach and a big squeeze. Breathe, squeeze, squeeze, and lower. One more, lift, reach, squeeze, and lower. Good, slightly different exercise. Arms in this position. We're going to lift up, just slightly held, not too high. We're going to stay lifted, so if you feel more comfortable squeezing your bottom to engage this lower back a little bit better. Again, pull the belly in, just flap your arms up and down like you're flying. Squeeze up and down and up and down. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together and up and down. Lovely. If you want to try and increase your range of flexibility a bit more, you can take your hands to your temples and squeeze back and down. So like you're flapping your elbows. Flap and back. Keep the chin tucked in, squeeze the tummy. 4 more and 3 and 2, lovely stuff, and 1. Let's sit back into child pose. Let these hands stay where they are, stretch out those shoulders. Lovely. Wonderful. Let's just take one arm, thread it through, press the weight into the shoulders, just feeling those shoulders stretch as we've done a lot of squeezing them together. Going to do a lovely new stretch today, change sides. Now this is a really good stretch for your thoracic. So when I say your thoracic spine, your spine is kind of split into different bits. You've got your lumbar spine, which is your lower back, your thoracic is the middle bit, and your cervical is the top. Most people have trouble with the lower back, that's where the back pain is, but the mobility issues are often with this mid back. And the shoulders are attached to it. So with bad posture and bad mobility here, makes the spine bend. So then you get problems with the shoulders. So that's why we do so much work for the shoulders. Grabbing a chair. This is a lovely stretch. Again, I'm just using a chair, but it could be, you know, this. You've got to be able to kneel on the floor and get your arms on it. So as long as it's not so high that you can't do that. So what I'm going to do is have my hands on my head and my elbows on the chair, and I've got my bum out behind me. So I'm kind of in a square shape. I do want the back to arch, that's the point of the stretch. Let your hands on your head, stretch into it. So I'm trying to let my body lower and my arms go up. So I'm opening up my shoulders. This is why you need the height. So you drop your hips back, drop, pushing into your shoulders and release. A little bit of a round, kind of like a cat stretch. Stretch. Okay, just continue with that one. Have a little look at you. Lovely, really nice. So you're trying to drop down, come up. So think of when we do the cat stretch, we do a little bit of a round and an arch. So you want to try and, it's a lovely stretch for that mid back. So you can get your arms quite far on the chair. Stretch, try and drop your chest. And then round to release. Drop, round. And hold, sticking your bottom back so I get a lovely stretch. Oh, I can really feel that. And release, good. So I can really feel that in my upper back. It's a nice one to do. Lovely stuff, all done. You can pop your chairs to the side. Oh, I've got a drink. And we'll sit on our bottoms. Whizzing by today. So, in fact, yeah, I'll be alright. Don't want to whack anything else. So a little bit of hip mobility. Let's have the knees together, feet together, hands on the knees, pull yourself up. So we've got our shoulders over our hips, got a natural curve in the lower back. So pulling up helps you to get that curve. And you should feel nice and stretched so you can lift your chest up, lengthen the neck. Breathe in as you breathe out. It's the complete opposite of what we've done. So you're letting everything round. So your mid back is rounding. Almost perhaps feel your shoulders rounding and separating, stretching and back up. So you're also pulling your belly in, trying to curve your lower back. Your whole back is rounding. Try not to lose your chin too much. It will drop a little bit, but it's not going to be like this. So just feel stretching, rounding. Lovely. Next time I'm going to add some knees. Breathe out on the way down, makes sense, because you've got nothing in you. Breathe in, open the knees. This helps you push forward a bit more, so we're lengthening the spine, curving the back, lengthen the spine, open the knees, using the tummy. You can make that movement back a little bit bigger, so you're feeling your tailbone tuck under. Can we take the arms off? As we come in, we squeeze the knees. Try and keep those toes down. If you need to, bring your feet a bit closer. If you start to lift your feet, you engage the legs, and we really just want the spine and the tummy to do the work. If you want to lift up, even more. Again, working through the shoulders. This is a real lovely stretch of that spine. Next one, hold back. Open your curtains, and what's there? Come back. Open the other way. So the tummy is pulled in, we're staying still with the body. Just opening up the arms, again, lovely. Opening for the chest and the shoulders. Keep that breath going. Pull that tummy in. Once more on the left, let's just hold. Can we go down a bit further? Hold, squeeze the tummy in. You can see I'm shaking, that's what we want. Squeeze the knees. Bit lower. Bit lower. Ribs are down now. And release. Little body stretch here. Whew, lovely. So I'm going to do some exercises for the lower abdominals, and then I want to try and do our V-sit today. We were doing it last week. This time we'll take it up another level. Again, we'll always start low. So let's just start off. Spine is in neutral, it's got a little gap, shoulders down, tummy's in. Neutral, you're flat. If you put your fingers, your thumbs in your belly button, if you're up here, you're not in neutral. If you're down there, you're too arched. So your hands should be flat, like a plateau in the middle. And relax, get these shoulders away from the ears, lengthen the neck. If you need a little pillow, pop that under just so you've got your forehead and your chin aligned, same height. Keeping the tummy pulled in without pressing the back in the floor. Just lift your right leg. A knee fold. So you've just lifted the leg and then you put it back down. So we just carry on with this, nice and easy. Especially if you've got any lower back issues, you tend to want to stick with just lifting one leg at a time. But this is just warming us up. I know we always do 100, but I thought we'll do something different today. The V-sits take quite a lot of muscle energy, so maybe not doing the 100 first. It's a good thing, lovely. Okay, can we now slide one leg away, slide a leg, bring it back, slide the other leg. Alexa, volume down, slide the leg, bring it back. So as you're sliding away, nothing else is moving. Chin stays where it is, back stays where it is. Think of the ribs pressing into the floor, the tailbone into the floor. Can we take both legs away? My mat tends to slide up, but keep your feet light. So this is a good indication of how does it feel when you take both legs away. So if you lift both, if you're finding this hard, and when your legs go, your back really arches, it's going to be similar when you lift. So maybe halfway out with the legs, or maybe just really consider before you lift both legs up. You've got to be able to control the tummy, keep the back pressed in, lovely. Let's lift the right leg and the left leg. Now press the lower back into the floor. You can use this to sort of jiggle yourself about, get the back in the floor, lovely. Can we straighten one leg? Bring it back. Straighten the other leg, bring it back. So we're taking the leg down and up. Again, you can make the move as big or as small as you want. So it can just be a slight straighten of the leg, or you can take the leg down, bring it back, down, bring it back, lovely. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Can we do both legs? Both legs. Really press the back in the floor. Both legs. I'm going to add the upper body. Get your hands near your eyes. Lift up. Like you're taking off your hat. Lengthen. Come back round. Hat off. Come back round. So the upper body isn't moving. You're just crunched up. Breathe. Back into the floor. Lovely. 2 more, 1 more, relax. So this is our prep for our V-sit. So we're going to start with the legs out straight. Our arms, link them together, have them as far back as you can. If they don't touch the floor, don't worry, but wherever they are. And we're just going to lift the upper body as one movement. Trying to keep your arms near your ears. So we don't want to be here. The idea is we're controlling and curling up. Tuck that chin in. This is our first level. I'd like to add another level on. Can we lift a leg? Doesn't have to go very far. Then the left leg. Really thinking about getting your rib cage at the back off the floor so you're feeling the crunch. So I'd like to try both legs. Can we do both legs? Again, it's not high. It's just here. If you're feeling any kind of twinge, go back to one leg or keep both legs down. What I'd like to try and do is, can we go from here and just take it up a bit further into your V-sit? And then you roll back down. So doing it with a bit of momentum is going to be easier. Try not to fling yourself up. Breathe in, breathe out here. Keep going, lift, lift, lift and reach. If your legs are bent, that's fine. Breathe, roll down, in, breathe out. You don't have to link your hands anymore. That's for the prep. Breathe in, arms by your ears and then reach. Lovely, it really works those legs as well. Let's do 2 more if we can. It's really working all of the abdominals here. Fantastic, 1 more. And roll down. Bringing your right leg into your chest, giving it a hug, both hands around it, pull it in, lovely. Lengthening this left leg away. We've just done a lot of bringing the knees up and down, so they're a bit tight, so that's why we do this release stretch. Let's switch. shoulders away from your ears, neck is long. Blimey, it's gone super fast tonight. A few more exercises. So we want to work the waist and the obliques. We've done so much for the shoulders and back. You've got to work all of the core. So, we're going to do the bicycle. It is as it sounds. So if you've got any neck problems, you can have just your legs moving. Try and think of your legs crossing. I know it doesn't feel like a bike, but crossing if your head's on the floor, because we want to get into the side. If you're lifting your head, you can take your elbows to your knees, which makes life a little bit easier, it makes more sense. But if you've got neck problems, keep it down and you're taking your legs across, and you'll work the body, okay? So I'm going to lift the head. Again, you want to try not to flap around with your elbows. So have one elbow down and you reach across and you really twist the whole body to the side, and then you twist. So one arm on the floor. If you lift your arms up, you tend to do this. So open the shoulders, keep them back. Doesn't matter that your shoulder doesn't get to your knee, just twist. Still think of bringing the knee across the body. So try and get some nice fluid movement. Can we do a backwards bicycle? Get your brain moving. Same thing, shoulders to knee. You're just backward pedaling. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Oh, roll those knees around. So working the waist. Knees on the floor. We're just going to lift the body slightly. I'm still leaning, my shoulders are off, but I'm into my rib cage. I'm just going to tap, reach to the ankle and tap. If your neck is really feeling it, have your hands support, one, support and change. And it's like you're doing a side bend, crunch, down, reach and reach. But the head is just supported with the fingers, don't pull on it, let it just look up, whoop, reach, reach. And you're feeling your rib cage come down towards your hip. We're not lifting up too much, not too much of a crunch, just a small lift and a reach. Let's do 8 more, and 7, again, elbows back, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, well done. Let's take our arms up over our head and then making a W shape, bringing those arms down. So you're trying to keep your elbows and the back of your wrists and your fingertips on the floor. Don't worry if they're not, but just feel that movement. So bringing them up and down, and reach up, bring them down. So your arms are going from an I shape or to a W. Again, really working on the chest, the spine, breathing in, breathing out. 1 more. Breathe out and just hold. This is one we used to do when we was on the roller, just really hold here. A few more seconds. Should feel a bit looser than usual, there's lots of stuff. We can do one more nice chest opener again for the movement in the mobility in the spine and release. Good. I'm going to grab a little pillow. Should have said that. Just something small. My neck's very long, so it's uncomfortable if I don't have a pillow. It's really just to pop under your head. Little cushion is fine, nothing too big. I've got my knees here. I'm going to take my top leg over to really pull the body over. I'll hold on for a moment whilst you get your pillows. Have your arm underneath you, hands together. Making sure your fingertips are the same length. Don't have this bottom arm longer than your top arm. So again, you might want to take glasses off. We're just going to open up, really reach forward, follow the hand with your nose, open up. And close. This knee stays down. And that's what's going to keep you there and make you just move the upper body. So this gives you a good idea of how tight your shoulders are. Again, it's a thoracic spine. Each time you might get a bit further. Challenge yourself, but never overstretch. Always listen to your body. I'm going to change this to a circle over my head. Take it up and over like a rainbow. And then close. Up and over the head behind you like a rainbow. Oh, lovely stretch. And close. Fantastic. Keeping that knee in front heavy. Do one more. Let's hold it back though. Hold it where you feel that real sweet spot. Keeping this knee down. And just reach back if you can get your fingers down. Try and bend the arm and get the elbow back. I feel it really here, across here. Everyone's going to feel it in different places. But we get so tight across here. And release. Wonderful stuff. You can just turn sides. I'm going to flip ends so that I can see you all still. You can just roll over. Same thing, have your arm underneath you, but not so far that you're already half on your back. Get that shoulder under you. Leg on top, so you're pushed forwards, and then we open up. And just make a note. Oh, already this side is so much more flexible. I'm right-handed, so maybe I do more on my right. Sometimes it could be that arm you do use is tighter because you overuse it, so just making a note of it. But it's a considerable difference, I can really feel it. So I'm just going to make sure I always stretch the other side, take a little bit more attention to my left. Let's do that circle. So semicircle, rainbow up and over the head, to the side, and close. Minding everything around you. Using the breath, following with your head. On this last one, we're going to hold that arm just where the loveliest part of that stretch is, your real sweet spot. Can you get that hand down, keep that knee down? One more breath. Lovely. And release. Good stuff. Let's have a little bit of a stretch. Oh, we didn't even do the bridge today. But we've really done loads of good stuff with the shoulders. So nice to mix it up a bit. So I'll do some real nice stretching for our lower back. So let's take the knees into the chest and rock from side to side, just massaging that lower back. And then take your arms out to the side, and then can we let one leg and then the other leg start to go down. So you're taking your knees towards your elbows. It's a bit more of a tighter stretch. If you're not happy with that, you can just have your feet here in a small stretch. But if you can, get those knees up by the elbows, but keep your opposite shoulder down and look the opposite way to the knees. I've got my knees to the left and my head to the right. So if you're opposite, that's fine. Just make sure both shoulders are down. If not, then just maybe move the legs down a bit. This top leg, can we straighten it? Doesn't matter if it's not straight, can you just touch the floor with it? So you're just increasing the stretch, just the toes. And then let those legs just come back in, bring them back one at a time. Back to centre, head back to centre. Let's get ourselves nice and centred before we change sides. Bring the knees in. Knees together, and then gently take them the other way, keeping the shoulder down. So if my knees are to the right, my left shoulder's firmly down, look to the left. Or whichever way you're going, just making sure you're looking the opposite way to your knees. Then this top leg, can we straighten it and just put that foot on the floor. Doesn't matter if it doesn't reach, it's just adding a bit onto the stretch, breathing into it. Bring the foot down slowly, one foot back, the other foot back, let's get ourselves back to centre. Lengthen, bring those knees in again one at a time. Little roll round with the knees, so you can circle the knees in different directions, one clockwise, one anti-clockwise, and then change. So you're just getting a nice bit of movement in the lower back and the hips. Lovely. Let's lift our head up, a little rock, come up to sitting. I just want to stretch the hamstrings. I'm going to stretch them sitting up today. So I'm going to stretch my feet out in front of me, and I'm going to scoop my bum up behind me. I just find that helps to get you upright. If you need to bend the legs, that's fine. If you can, reach up, and then reach forward. So we're folding at the hips. So you're lengthening the back, lengthen, folding half as much as you can, then relax. And feel your head coming towards your knees, so you get a stretch in your lower back as well. Lifting up to go again, reach, fold in half, fold, 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 and then round. Bring your right heel into your thigh, reach behind you, looking behind your right knee, reach up and over, leaning towards this leg, getting a stretch in the back. Looking into the eye of the elbow, trying to keep this arm back. So we're really, again, all working on this rotation. Should feel lovely and stretched today, a lot more movement. Now turn the body so your shoulders are square onto your leg and reach forwards. This is stretching the hamstring because we're pushing down on this leg. If you can reach your foot, wonderful. If you can flex your foot, again, work at your level. Hands might just be on the floor, that might be enough for you. Let's change side, wonderful, and then we shall have a lovely bit of stretching, relaxing rather. So left heel into the thigh, turn towards the left leg, left arms all the same side, reach up and over, look into the eye of that elbow. So this is really stretching the back, the side at the moment, stretching out the waist as well. Turn the body, turn the shoulders straight on and reach forwards. Head, forehead to your knee. Feeling the stretch in your leg. If you can flex, wonderful. Someone's just texted me. I better check in case it's on you lot. No, that's good. All is good. All is good. Reach. Lovely stuff. Let's take it down onto the floor. Couple more stretches and a bit of relaxation. Crossing your right heel over your left knee, bring those legs into the body. And just ease it in, feeling the stretch in the hip. And then put your foot down, left foot down, and the legs go over to the side. Again, stretching in this hip. And then gently take the legs over to the other side, keeping that right foot on the left knee. Keep your shoulder down. Gently back to centre, squeeze the tummy, come back. Let's cross this left ankle over the right knee, pick the legs up, bring them in, feeling the stretch in the left ankle, no tension in the head, have a little look side to side. Place the right foot down, hands out, let the legs fall over to the right, keeping that left foot locked on the knee. Gently squeeze the tummy, lift the legs, let them drop over to the other side. A nice stretch for the lower back and the hips. Wonderful. very gently come back to centre. Let's have a quick stretch, lengthen the body. And then just closing the eyes, let the hands be by your side, palms facing up, feet apart, and just in a relaxing position. Let's give the toes a little scrunch up, feeling tension around the joints, then take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out, leave all the tension, let it leave the feet. Flexing the feet so there's tension in the heels, the front and the back. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out, feel the tension leave the feet and the ankles. Feeling tension in the knees and the thighs and the bottom and the pelvic floor. Squeezing everything in, breathing in. Breathe out, feeling the legs and the tummy and the bottom relax. Squeezing your tummy, shrugging the shoulders, feeling tension all the way up the trunk. Breathe in. Breathe out, relax. Tension in the shoulders all the way down to the fingertips. Spread those fingertips. Breathing in, breathe out. Relax. Making a fist with that hand, scrunching those hands up, feeling tension in the joints of the knuckles. Breathing in. Breathe out, shake those hands, shake out any negativity, any stress. And release. Into the face, close the eyes tightly, the jaw is clenched, breathing in. Breathe out, feel the face soften. And one more time, squeezing everything from toes to knees to bottom, shoulders, fingers, fists, faces. And breathe out, release. Feel your toes relax, your legs. Your tummy is just rising and falling with your breath. Your mouth, just let the jaw separate naturally, let the tongue fall behind the teeth, let your eyes just roll wherever they want. Try and let any thoughts go and just spend a moment here for yourself, relaxing. And then let's bring some awareness back. We can roll the teeth, roll the tongue around the teeth, roll the eyes around in the head. Roll, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, roll the wrists. Take a full body stretch. Left foot on the floor, right foot on the floor. Bring the knees in to the chest, open the eyes, little rock from side to side. Roll over to the right. Coming onto the knees, tucking those feet under like we did when we started, just giving them a little stretch. Hands down, let's push back onto the balls of the feet. And then the heels are down. Start to lengthen those legs. Let your neck be nice and relaxed. You can shake it to the side, like you say no. You can nod. And then squeeze the tummy very gently, standing up. Woo. Lovely stuff. Let's take a breath. Should feel really stretched in these shoulders and back. And release. One more. Thank you very much, everybody. Let me stop recording.